Right, outside the Montreal, who are looking after me here, and I must say a huge thank you to the Patterson family. Catching up with Cam Bray from NZB. Hey, Cam.
Paul, very good afternoon to you.
It is a beautiful afternoon, although the sun has just disappeared, but
yeah,
the weather's been outstanding. You've been over looking after a couple of my sponsors with the breeding scene. Ties in with you guys as well, but very important. But yeah, what a magic day it was today, and it'd get a few people excited about breeding their mares, that's for sure.
Oh, well, it's probably one of the warmer days we've had in recent times. We've had a bit of rain and bits and pieces, but no, sort of it looks like we're turning the corner.
Yeah.
You know?
You said you haven't got a lot going on at the minute with NZB, but you've actually got your race series tomorrow night, the Harness Million, and I've been purposely making sure I don't put the S on the end of it, because I do get corrected by one very astute man, Martin, who'll correct me for it, but three finals, tomorrow night. Great for the brand, great for the business. Yeah,
well, it's our 2-year-olds, obviously. Good field. The colts is an outstanding field. I think the fillies are although it's not a full field, it's a very even field. And the 2-year-old trotters, well, hey, the baby trotters are a thing of their own, aren't they? 1 from Australia, so you can't say they haven't travelled.
No, that's exactly. And he came back and he went good. I think he ran second first up. It is. We'll stay with those just for a sec. It's a funny one. You're obligated to run it because people pay up for it. They pay into the series, and it's just a bit disappointing from everyone's point of view for harness racing, full stop, that you can only get 4 horses there. But from my point of view, hats off to you guys for actually committing to running it. I think that's important, and Harness Racing New Zealand, to continue to oblige by these, because next year you never know, we might have 12, 13 horses. Hopefully, that's what we would like. People getting them ready and getting them down here for the race.
Well, it's one of those things, because they've paid into it, you sort of enter into a contract, so you're obliged to run the race. But at the end of the day, it's a bit like a jackpot rodeo, so to speak. So they've paid in, so they're entitled to race for their money. And, you know, congratulations to those that have gone forward. And as you say, we've had a horse from Australia, we've had horses that have performed in Auckland that have come down, so they've certainly travelled.
Yep, and they've done everything they can. And as I said, well done to everyone. The fillies and the colts, though, outstanding in 2 different ways. The fillies such an open race, breeding coming from everywhere too, which is exciting.
Yeah, and there's a number of non-winners in that field. Where I think that was the interesting thing. Early on nominations, I think we were looking at probably the colts. We're going to have a full field of winners, but we've had 1 or 2 fall off, so we've got a couple have got in there. But fantastic field. As I say, the evenness of that fillies field, just, you know, who knows. The colts, Jamal's sort of drawn a little bit awkwardly, so that opens it up a bit, you know.
He's an exciting horse. I haven't been able to see him in person. I've watched all of his 5 wins that he's won, either in replay or live, and he's such an exciting horse. But then I saw he drew 13.
Yeah.
First person I saw last night when I walked into Addington Park was Stephen Reid. I said, any chance of a chat? He goes, yeah. I'm thinking, this might be a bit negative when I was walking out. I was thinking, geez, he's drawn. Didn't worry, Steve.
No.
He's
good. He's
up
positive.
And about. Isn't he?
That's good.
Yeah, he's excited about him as a horse, and some pretty exciting news from everyone's point of view. Like, I think he's going to have one more start. The other hat that you do wear, he's going to have it in the Sire Stakes final. He believes he'll go straight into that. Then goes to the paddock, and he's going to have a big 3-year-old year, which is exciting for New Zealand and Australia. He's going to make his way across for the Australian Derby, the Victorian Derby, and the New South Wales Derby. 2 on his radar. So he's got long-range plans for this horse, and any Australians that are watching it, tune into this race tomorrow night, because there's some really nice horses. Hayden Cullen's horse drawn the pole, whose name's left me just a minute, but it's a light horse. Yeah. He's a beautiful horse as well. So there's some really nice horses in this field.
And the beauty of it now, from here to Christmas, there's so many targets for these horses. It is a real exciting period we're going into. And, you know, you're going to see a lot of, there's going to be some horses going to put their hands up, as 2-year-olds do. I think, I watched an interview with Martin after the heat last Friday night, and as he said, 2-year-olds, anything can happen as a 2-year-old. We're early on, really, when you think about it, and there's a few gunfights to go to yet. It's just a really exciting time of year. It helps us sell the horses the next crop. Acceptances for the yearling sales close on Monday, so we're into cataloguing next week, so we're back into it again, so it all rolls around.
You and I have had this conversation, and we can't do it. One, changing people's mentality would be near on impossible to do it anyway, but it'd be so nice if we could be selling the yearlings that you sold back in February now, as far as in for the excitement, spring weather, people go to the races, get them to the sale. It doesn't always work that way, but a little bit of that American model, it would be nice. Could be a lot easier, wouldn't it, to be up and about?
Oh, well, yeah, and it's easier probably when you look at an investment side of it. They literally have it for 3 or 4 months and boom,
back to the races.
They're at the races.
Right.
It's sort of it is a model, but does come with its expense, probably, and particularly this part of the world, probably further south you go, it gets a little bit challenging. The merit is there. We talked for a number of years about if you would ever try and reinstall and get decent buy-in for ready-to-run sale, it would be a perfect opportunity to have or an elite, or we've talked about, even an elite racing prospect type sale, a bit like the dare I say it, another sales company in Australia that sells thoroughbreds has like an elite racing prospect sale. It would be quite a good thing, but the trouble is, so much of that happens behind the scenes now. It's hard to drag them out, but it's sort of something that you could bring to the party. That sort of you could buy today, race tomorrow. Away you go.
Yeah, there's some merit in that, I suppose, isn't there? And that keeps the traditionalists happy, the ones that want it in February. The studs that can't carry the burden of yearlings for so long, that's one of the main problems with it. They've got weanlings and mares and the expense, so I understand that point of view. But, maybe, never know.
Who knows?
Start the conversation, someone might come and say, that's an idea, can we run with it?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys would be happy to.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Numbers are a struggle. They're a struggle in Australia. I'm not going to pot anyone for this. It's a worldwide issue, I think. We look at America and they've got so many sales, but even their numbers are down across the board.
I went to the World Conference 2 years ago, was it? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whenever it was. Numbers throughout the world were trending backwards, unfortunately, and it's just the nature of change in land use, change of people's doing, a number of reasons. We are not immune to it. We're, touch wood, we get what we get. We will be back, another couple of percent on catalogue. But, you've got to remember that was back from, say, 30 or 40 last year. So 30 or 40 less horses last year. We're another 20-odd down this year, So when you look at it over a period of time, we've lost 60 to 100 horses in the space of, a couple of 3 years.
Which is a worry, but talking to people, and it is very early, things are looking a little bit better this year. I know one thing I will say, there are a lot of mares in foal early. Now, hopefully they keep them. I mean, they won't be 40 days tested or anything along those lines, but early indications are they've got a lot of mares in foal early, and hopefully that trend will continue right through.
There's a number of things, like we are at the point of the supply and demand curve, balancing back out the other way. You've got to realise that off the back of the last 2 years previous to Entain, racing business probably wasn't going quite as good as it was. We're at the exact opposite end of the spectrum now. When you look at doing inspections in the middle of winter, we go around places like Invercargill, for argument's sake, they had their Southern Splurge or what it was during the middle of winter, when they wouldn't be racing at all. They're getting 100 plus nominations for race meetings. You're talking to trainers, they are just up and about, they're enjoying it, they're doing well. This is a period where they weren't racing before. You come to Canterbury, there's, the money's up, the big trainers, they got big targets, they got big aspirations, and then you go around the yearlings and, I don't know if I'll breed that mare, don't breed that mare. What is going to happen is that you're going to end up with the supply and demand curve. We're not going to have enough horses to satisfy the demand of the racing business in New Zealand. That doesn't include, horses going to Australia.
One's exported, and abroad as well. They go to New Zealand.
We are very, very close to probably in the next, if it's not in the next 12 months, it'll be very close thereafter. China is going to be a real serious player. They're in the throes of doing some things up there which may give them racing once a week. Where are they going to come from? So, I reckon there's real opportunity breeding in New Zealand, real opportunity.
And I think we want to be careful. We are not being negative, you and I. When we're saying them, we're saying the truth, and we're trying to make sure people are aware of it. I've done a thing with Darryl Brown, Wayair Farm, what they're trying to do, Macca Lodge. They got in cahoots with Yabby Farms. So the three of those guys getting in to do deals where they get discounted rates for people if they breed to those stallions. Macca and Wayair, I don't know how they do it. I think anyone coming over here for the New Zealand Cup, go to Wayair if you're only coming to Christchurch. But if you're going down south, go to Macca Lodge and see what they are doing for this industry here and in there, as well as Brecon Farms, Woodland Stud.
Well, I think you'll find there's a number of the bigger studs are actually all focusing on that.
And trying to get them out, trying to maximise people's return, which is what you want. I had an interview with Andrew Fitzgerald earlier. He said he wouldn't be breeding Wayair Farm, helping him. So he's gone from wouldn't be breeding, he's got three there.
Yeah, well, and this is the thing. There's a real opportunity, and I think people are, if they've got the ability to, I think they're actually trying to seize that opportunity. one thing we've also got to consider, and this has not been negative at all, and this has just been completely real. We talk in New Zealand about how export numbers were down, and it's been a great help to the New Zealand breeding scene. New Zealand racing scene, because understand that a successful breeding scene isn't based solely on New Zealand.
Yeah.
It's based on all the different markets.
Yeah.
And probably one thing you would say is outside of probably the top end market, the market to Australia for racehorses has been slightly suppressed.
Yep.
If you think that, where all of a sudden the moon's aligned, everything starts to line back up, the Kiwi Standardbred still performs everywhere.
Yeah.
And they are going to come for it. And the reality is we've got to be careful that in New Zealand that we're breeding enough to sustain our own racing population.
Yeah.
Because you're going to always get people that are going to sell. That's how they make business. That's their business. That's how their business model works.
I can say this. It's a New Zealand mentality.
Yeah.
The Australian mentality is buy. The New Zealand mentality is sell. And that's how Kiwis have always made their money. They're survivors, and that's what you do. But with the racing product that's being put out there now,
that might slow it down, or and it's always been
sell to Kiwis.
It's been the same old argument. If I can't race it and get X amount, well, I want to sell it for X amount. And that's leveled up a bit. So, I think it's real positive times for everyone involved. And I think if you're on the fence, get in, because if you're looking at the market signals and you're reading the tea leaves, things do look positive.
No, and a couple of smart guys have always said to me, you always get in. Yeah. When opportunity knocks, and a lot of them are saying opportunity knocks today. I've had breakfast, I've had conversations with quite a few people. They're on the look. They want more and more. There's no mistaking what they're after, and we want it helps you guys. NZB, there's no problems there for selling horses, but it actually helps the racing product, and that's what we want to do. We want to be able to get...
and at the end of the day, we're a commission-based business, so if it helps us, there's a lot of people making a lot of money on the way through. We're only taking a bit on the end, taking a piece on the way through. But ultimately, for us to succeed means everyone succeeds, which that's what we want, is for everyone to succeed.
Yeah. Just on that, I did notice today, or just before, Mick Guerin put a post up, the ready to run, so another arm being put back a week due to the
the weather's not looking too favourable, so they've made the call, to transfer it a week. So I don't know much more than that, to be fair. But it's a bit of a pain. But I think ultimately people want to put their best foot forward when they go to those sort of events, and you want to have a couple of half decent days.
Does that put the sale back? I suppose no, it doesn't. So the actual sale day will still be the same at the minute. Provided that weather.
The sale itself is not till obviously the Cup week. Yeah. So it just trims up possibly the preparation by a week.
And maybe the guy doing the voiceovers in the middle.
No, they're done already.
Oh, they're already done. Okay. I was going to say he might get under some pressure.
I'm good.
He's got that fine. You said you've been out doing a lot of inspections, and impressed with what you're going to see for next year.
Yeah, definitely. We're all finished those. As I say, acceptances, so we start pedigreeing next week. What we saw around North Island, really, really good. Southland, really good. I think the week we got there was probably the worst week we'd had. There was a bit of snow and a lot of rain and shit around. And Canterbury, to be fair, Canterbury's probably had one of its wetter winters, but to be fair, the horses look outstanding. So, and again, we've got a bit of heat now, things will start to move, and away we go.
Yeah, which is exciting. That's what we want to do. We want to get it out there, keep the message out there. Sales next year, I reckon, 16th and 18th.
There you go.
Monday and Wednesday. So
that's right.
February. Yep. So 16th and 18th. That come out of nowhere too.
Well done.
About that. And that's one thing we need to make sure. We've got to keep that out. Gone back to your traditional days. People might say they've always been a Sunday, but they weren't. They always were the Monday.
They always were the Monday. We moved to Sunday. Early on, we see an opportunity to try and engage a few more, average Joe punters who want to come along just to sort of add to the vibe. But unfortunately, since the move away from harness racing on a Saturday, they've chucked more on the Sunday, which means, possibly two race meetings on a Sunday. So it's a bit tough for everyone, not only buying but selling. So we gave ourselves the Monday to sell Auckland, and then back to Christchurch for the Wednesday.
And Monday is a race-free day?
Yeah, both 3 free days there.
Yeah, and all 3 codes, I think, on the Monday, I believe. Is that
right? That's right.
Yeah, so that makes it even better. Yeah. We can get racing people, because we've got to be aware of that. Cam Bray, they're doing great things. We want to get the galloping guys. We've got them in the we'ngling sales. They're going to be selling.
They are, yeah. They look really good,
yeah.
Interesting, actually, going around them, or, what I all asked them, I said, what's the difference? And they said, they're notably quieter. But he said, Christ, they can be ignorant.
A few of the boys getting an eye opener, are they?
Yeah, but tough. Yeah, early on in the old group chat there was, they were trying to walk them and they're getting dragged around and bits and pieces. So, yeah, I think they're enjoying the process.
Yeah. I don't think I'm speaking out of school. Yabby Dam Farms have committed. They're selling some horses here as well. We need to be aware of that because both Yabby Dam Farms and Aldebaran Park are combining forces. We need to make Australia and New Zealand smaller. We want these guys in there as well, and the fact that Pat's coming back. I don't know if Duncan's got any in.
Yeah, I think he's got one. And he's got one. He's bred out of a mare here. Yeah,
which he has down here with Ken Spicer. And he's always done that. So I mean, these guys commit. They're coming back to the ascent and the velocity of these races. So we want to make sure that people support these guys as well. Pat's standing stallions here, so's Duncan. They've both got stallions. So make sure you support them because they're not just taking, they're actually giving.
No, they're putting in. They're putting in, definitely. So it's great to see them coming over. As I say, I think they've been probably quite surprised and pleasantly enjoying the process. It's quite easy. It's a lot easier than I think they originally might have thought it was going to be. So that's good. I think the yearlings go to preparers over here, obviously. So I think they're coming over this month at some stage. So yeah, it's all good.
No. Cam, thank you. Anyone wants to get in touch with you, best way to go is just nzbstandardbred.co.nz.
Correct, yeah.
Got it right this time. I've had some troubles with some of my websites this weekend. But go there, give you a call, your phone number's on there, get in touch with you. That way, it will come around very, very quickly.
Obviously we talked about the
3.5 months. Probably.
Yeah, a bit over. But, we got like the Ready to Run sale in November, and we've also got... in January, the end of January, is the 100th anniversary of the New Zealand Thoroughbred sale. So that's quite a big occasion for us at Karaka for the 100 years. So, yeah, between a bit of canvassing and a few yearling tours and etc., it's going to roll around pretty bloody quick. And those yearling tours are something for the Australian buyers, and you Australian buyers should go to. Yeah, you can get on it. Reach out. Yeah.
Give you guys a call and find out. You go to the farms. It's unbelievable access. We're in and out in a couple of days too, albeit they're sort of staggered over quite a period of time. But, if you're coming out, just get in touch. And let's say that. It is hit and run. You go through, 4 studs on one day, I think on the North Island, 3 on the second day. You get through a lot. You get through a lot of horses, probably a lot more than what you would, but you're not rushed. No. You get to see everyone, horse and then you get to write your notes and you get time afterwards. It's not like every horse gets paraded on the back on the bus and away you go. You get your time. So it's good. It's very important. If you are looking to buy horses, whether it's fillies, colts, trotters, paces, whatever you want to buy, you're mad not to get on these tours and have a look. 100%. Be aware though that the tours, historically book out quick. Well, they do, but Southern Red would normally go just pre to the sales. They've moved forward into early-ish in January. So, and then we'll basically go Southern Bred, we'll go to the North Island, obviously then we break for Karaka for the Thoroughbred sales, then into Christchurch, and then we're sort of a couple of weeks in to the sales. Yeah, very good. It's all go. Just very quickly on that, 2 great supporters of NZB, Shard Farms, great to see Mark Smith, life membership for SBSR, acknowledgement of all his hard work, which is great. It is. Mark and Debbie Foundation, obviously of SBSR, or one of the foundations of it, and I was talking to him this afternoon, he's back in as president of SBSR, so he got made life member, and they said, you did such a good job, you can... What a sweetener that was. He's your prize. Which is good, he's great to deal with, Mark and Deb, and to be fair, Mark for a long time has done the tour, and it's a thankless job, and he handles it well. He does all the accommodation. So he does a great job. Yeah, I am right. It was only Mark that was inducted. No, Mark and Debbie both were, I think. Oh, were they? Okay, yeah. Sorry, Deb. I apologise for that. Yeah, don't you'll get a smack. Yeah. I will. I did say I'm glad she's going to be coming back to the sales. I don't know who I was talking to just before, but at least I'll get another cuddle from her, so that part's okay. So we want to make sure of that. It's all good. Cam, thank you. As always, go to NZB Standardbred.co.nz, follow the links, keep up to date with everyone. Don't forget Gavel House as well, plenty happening in Gavel House lately, so keep up. It's probably a little bit, there's a bit going on, but it's probably a little bit quieter numbers wise, but still some good quality coming through there. Just got to be one of these regular people that get on and look each week. So we had a good sale this week. There's only 3 or 4 horses, but across they all made 10, 8, 5 or whatever, You need 2 people to a gunfight. Exactly. If there's less horses, they will all enjoy it. Thanks, mate. Enjoy tomorrow night. Won't be there. I would have loved to have been there, but just logistically I can't do it. So it doesn't matter. That's right. But really appreciate it. Make sure you go to Addington Raceway, go there and support them, support the people that sell the horses, support the people that buy them. There's so many people there. It's going to be a great night of racing. So thanks, mate. Thank you. Good on you. Thanks, Cheers. Mate.